Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Francis Howell North. Francis Howell North student, staff, and administration are pleased to have you as our guests for tonight's soccer matchup between the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars and your Francis Howell North Knights. This athletic event is sanctioned by NISHA and members of that organization. Both schools agreed to abide by the regulations governing the athletic competition for high schools in the state of Missouri, as well as to maintain the standards of sportsmanship required at these athletic contests. Tonight's contest will be officiated under the rules set forth by the National High School Federation, the governing body for the high school interscholastic athletics. Let's meet both teams. First, the visiting Jaguars from Fort Zumwalt West. Number 1, Camille Day in goal. Number 2, Allie Keeley. Number 3, Caitlin Nichols. Number 4, Lauren Crane. Number 7, Katie Hilke. Number 8, Paige Anderson. Number 11, Asha Hannibal. Number 13, Ashlyn Nichols. Number 19, Grace Wright. Number 20, Maddie Crawford. And number 23, Jen McIntyre. The Jaguars are coached by Mr. Sean Baldwin, assistant coaches Brian Callahan and Lauren Smith. Now for your Francis Howell North Knights, first home game of the year. Hey. Number 4, Samantha Carey. Number 5, Lauren Shaw. Number 7, Brenna Rutherford. Number 8, Julia Christensen. Number 9, Courtney Arena. Number 12, Katie Richardson. Number 14, Megan Crane. And in goal, Jessie Beckman. Number 22, Abby Miller. Number 23, Nikki Grellner. And number 25, Karen Peete. The Knights are coached by Mr. Mark Ulwig and assistant coach Larry Scheller. Okay, would you please rise as we honor our nation with the playing of our national anthem?
Welcome to FHN Today Live. My name is Emily Hood, here with my co-announcer Dominic Hosher. Thank you for joining us for this matchup where the Francis Howell North Knights are taking on the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars. Dom, what can we expect to see from these two teams who have had highly successful seasons so far?
Well, Emily, it's going to be a really special night as it's the first home game of the season, which will create a little bit more buzz among the players on the Hal North side, which should lead to a much more exciting game. As you mentioned, both teams have come into the season off in strong fashion. Both teams participated in the Park League College Showcase over the weekend, which consists of some of the top teams in the Midwest region, starting with the Jaguars. They won two games out of two in the showcase, beating Belleville East on Friday by a score of 3-1, and then the next day Jefferson City by a score of 3-0 to improve their record to 2-2. The Knights, on the other hand, won their first game against Gurney Warren, our nationally ranked team from the Illinois area, by a score of 2-0, and then drew against Liberty KC 2-2. Both teams come in flying form and are two of the top three teams in the GAC South. However, one of the strongest points of this Knights team has been their defending and goalkeeper, Katie Arnold. She's coming off a torn ACL and has been playing goal for the first couple games. However, she's not in goal tonight as senior Jessie Beckman will take her place. We'll see how big of an impact that has on this game as a whole.
And taking the kickoff there was number 18 for the Knights.
Sam Carey with the knowledge. She passes it to her left winger, and that is Abby Miller, who turns it over to what looks to be number 2, Ellie Keeley. Keeley has a sister on the team, sophomore Ava Keeley, so we will see if that has any chemistry effects on the game tonight. Playing it back to what looks to be the captain, who goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, and that is Camille Day, who's in goal for the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars. Day is off to a really strong start this season as she has put together 13 saves and has allowed only 4 goals. Her 13 saves are the third most in the GAC South as she has a shutout as well. The Knights forced to throw in here, and as junior Sam Carey to take. She throws it into her forward, and that takes a deflection off of a Francis Hal North Knight, and that is Lauren Crane who's going to be taking the throw in. Lauren Crane has been one of the most dominant players on this Jaguars team.
And like you said, Dom, Lauren Crane, the top scorer here for the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars. She has 3 goals and 1 assist, including a goal and an assist in their last game against Jefferson City. Excuse me. She was also the team's top scorer last year with 15 goals.
Yeah, Emily, they'll be looking at Crane all night long to try to get them on the board and penetrate what's been a really strong Knights defense led by senior Nicole Grellner and junior Karen Pete, as well as Lauren Shaw. With strong goalkeeping by Katie Arnold, it's been one of the hardest back walls to get past in the entire JC South. However, with Jessie Beckman in goal, we'll see if the defense can still hold their ground and maybe Beckman can make a couple of crucial saves. Chasing it there for the Jaguars was number 3, Caitlin Nichols, the forward freshman, one of the only freshmen on this Jaguars team. There's Lauren Shaw. She plays it up the field looking for her winger. That pass was incomplete, however, and that takes a deflection off of a Jaguar. Lauren Shaw to take the throw-in.
Now taking the throw in for the Knights, number 5, Lauren Shaw, sophomore Lauren Shaw, her second year playing on varsity here for this Knights team as a defense, like you said, Dom, as part of that strong defensive line here for the Knights. The Knights, a relatively young team. They have 8 underclassmen, 5 sophomores, and 3 freshmen. Those 3 freshmen all starting players in this match. They also have 10 upperclassmen, 5 seniors, and 5 juniors.
When you see a balance like that, Emily, you can see leadership roles being taken by some of the upperclassmen, but then you see fresh, new, excited players who are going to give every ounce of energy as they are just now making the varsity team either for their first season or second season, and they could add a little bit extra mojo for these players. Playing it back was number 3, Nichols. She plays it through, looking for the captain, that is number 4, Lauren Crane. As we talked about earlier, one of the most dangerous players on the team. That pass from Lauren Shaw intended for Abby Miller falls incomplete as well. Abby Miller has been one of the top players on the team all year long, In their Friday's win against Gurney Warren, she won Park Lake College Showcase Player of the Match as she got herself her first goal of this season. We'll see if the Knights can get her more involved out of this midfield role tonight as the game moves along. Interception there by number 7, Brianna Rutherford. Here's Lauren Shaw. Lauren Shaw challenged by Nichols. She gives it up to Lauren Crane. Crane cuts it back, weighs her options, now takes it through the middle with a couple center fielders in the area, but that's Sam Carey who's able to clear it somewhat, and that's Caitlin Nichols who won the ball back for the visiting Jaguars. Now heavy touch there by the junior Sam Carey. Goes out of play. Carey leads the team in goals with 2 out of a left back position. She played forward her last 2 years on the team. However, with a really strong depth at the forward position, they decided to put Carey at the left back role to try to get more diversity into this Knights lineup. Knights were trying to get something going on the left wing there and try to get outside to open up this Jaguars defense. However, the ball was a little bit too hard for their forward, and that goes out of play for the first goal kick of the game, courtesy of the Jaguars.
In the first 5 minutes here, both teams' defense staying strong, really making this a strong midfield game here. Not many saves or goal kicks have come out of this team. That first one coming there from sophomore Camille Day for the Jaguars.
You're right about that, Emily, as both teams are trying to find each other out, and that's a really good through ball there for the forward. She tries to cut it back in net, does not work out. However, it was a good attack there for the Knights, and it looks like it'll be a throw-in in favor of the hosts. Shaw throws it in. Almost a handball there, but doesn't look like it was. That was Julia Christensen on the ball and trying to get through on the attack. Jaguars possession here with Ellie Keeley. Now playing out wide is defender Katie Hickey. Sam Carey coming from the left back role, charging at the team, plays a through ball intended for the forward there, but that is defended nicely, as you mentioned earlier, Emily. Neither defense has really given the opponent offenses really any room. That takes a deflection off of a Jaguar into Knights throw-in with Sam Carey taking it with just 33 minutes remaining here in the first half. A little shove there. We haven't seen a foul yet. However, that was our closest incident there. That's number 3, Caitlin Nichols, heading it down for the Jaguars. Takes a deflection off of Nichols, and it's a throw-in again for the Knights. All right, so Emily, we talked earlier about how strong these defenses have been this season, but can you go into a little bit more detail on how good this Knights defense has been?
Absolutely, Dom. This Knights defense crucial in their play. They are the 3rd best team in terms of goals allowed. They've only allowed 2 goals on this season. Of course, riding on the back of that senior goalkeeper, Katie Arnold, who was not able to make it to this match. Jesse Beckman there looking to step up big for the Knights. Also along the back with Sam Carey, Karen Pete, Nicole Grellner also making and stepping up, making a huge difference for this Knights team.
Lauren Crane spins around and plays it to her winger. That is what looks to be number 3, Nichols. Nichols plays it back to Maddie Crawford, getting one of her first touches of the game. That's good pressure there by Abby Miller, trying to win it for the Knights. Unable to do so, and Crane plays it upfield, but no one is there. So, Emily, you talked about Jessie Beckman playing her first game in goal on this season with a new coming goalkeeper, as Beckman is. It's important to try to get her confident and comfortable early. So far, the defense has done a good job in limiting the chances on the Jaguars, and however, if she can make 1 or 2 saves in the next couple of minutes, that can set her mindset in the right place and make her confident going into the rest of the game. Obviously, the Knights are going to try to limit those chances, though, so that doesn't happen, but if it does, that could be good boding for this night's defense and team. Here's Nicole Grellner chested down, looking for what looked to be her midfielder there, Katie Richardson, but that pass was unable to find her. But now Richardson with it, and she was looking out wide. Too much mustard on that pass to Brian Rutherford, and it goes out of play.
The Knights here looking to stay diligent here on their offensive attack. Their passes not really looking like they have much of a destination. That first pass there initially going for Rutherford, but that one going too far along, not really very close to her.
You're right, Emily. Some of these passes, they're making the right runs and they're making the right moves. However, some of these passes have too much power on them, which makes the offensive player run a little bit too much and then doesn't work out in the end. However, if they can start trying to get these passes down, get these early game jitters out of the way, they can start connecting on these long passes and start making runs on this Knights or Jaguars defense. Nicole Grellner with a nice first touch there going against number 3, Caitlin Nichols. However, the Jaguars are able to win back possession behind number 8, Paige Anderson. The senior Paige Anderson has been one of the top scorers this season, netting herself a goal in the opening 3 games. This Jaguars team is a really balanced attack, as their top scorer is Lauren Crane with 3. However, after that, it's a really balanced approach on offense with Caitlin Nichols, Evelyn Maybe, and Paige Anderson all getting themselves goals in the opening games, which creates a more diverse attack on the Jaguars. And the same can be said about this Knights team, however, as Abby Miller, Megan Crane, and Madeline Wood, who is not here tonight, all have 1 goal each. Great play there from Sam Carey and Abby Miller. And here comes Carey on the left wing, trying to make her run, tries to play it into the middle. It's a good ball, and it's cleared away by the defender. Most dangerous attack so far from the Knights, and it comes through the wings.
Carey there doing a good job using her offense to attack there through the wings, and putting cross balls in front of the goal allows her to open up her defense and open up the middle of the field and earn some scoring opportunities.
Carey chases down there again, and here's Abby Miller. Abby Miller with a good turn and passes it out wide to Lauren Shaw, who tries to chase it down, but that did not work out for the Knights. It was right in between Julia Christensen and Lauren Shaw. Neither really were sure of who was going to get the ball at the time of the pass, and that leads to a throw-in in favor of the Jaguars. Here's Lauren Crane. Crane takes a heavy touch, and it's a good job there by number 14, Megan Crane. However, she lost at the last second to Crane, who was able to make up for her error. A little bit of miscommunication there between Pete and Grellner, but Pete's able to chase it down and out-muscle the defender, and she goes down. That's the first foul of the game called by the referee, and it's a free kick in favor of the Knights right around the 30-yard line. Looks like senior Katie Richardson will be taking this free kick, and she'll weigh her options down the field. Sam Carey trying to keep it in. She uses her pace to do just that. She crosses it into the middle, and that goes straight to the goalkeeper, Camille Day. Hasn't had too much action so far, but in those opportunities that have involved the goalkeeper, she has been solid. She kicks up the field. That's a good job there by Abby Miller to find Julia Christensen. Christensen cuts it back and plays it back to Miller. Miller takes it out wide, trying to use the strategy of Sam Carey. That's worked for the Knights so far, and she puts a move on that defender right there, sends her the wrong way, plays it into the middle, and that's cleared away by the Jaguars. The Knights are really starting to look confident on offense.
That's right, Dom. The Knights using their wings, Abby Miller, Sam Carey, to push those balls into the center of the court, creating lots of offensive pressure here for the Knights with 26 minutes left in the first half.
First sub of the day is via the visiting Jaguars, and that is number 3, Caitlin Nichols, who's been running hard so far. She comes off to get a rest and a breather. Day's goal kick lands in the possession of her forward that looked to be number 23, Genevieve McIntyre. McIntyre has been a little bit quiet so far, but they can try to get her the ball from the back of the field. She can get more involved for this Knights or Jaguars team. Foul called there against the Jags, as it looked like that was junior Abby Miller who took a tumble. And around the 50-yard line, Sam Carey will take the free kick for the Howell North Knights.
Sam Carey, although technically a junior, this will be her last season here with the Knights. She has committed to the University of Iowa in her sophomore year and will be going and graduating in December to be able to go to Iowa next spring to be able to play at the collegiate level. Of course, in the University of Iowa in the Big Ten, one of the most competitive athletic leagues, especially for girls soccer. Carey competing at the highest level for sure will be missed here for the France Howell North Knights.
And there's Carey winning the ball back around the 50-yard line, and she's chased by the defender, that is number 16, Ashlyn Hunt, who came on for Caitlin Nichols. Some of the other Howell North Knights that are going to the college level include Nicole Grellner, Marilyn Wood, and Abby Miller. What a ball there for Lauren Crane. She's got a one-on-one. If she's onside, she is. Here's first test of the day for Jessie Beckman, and she finds the bottom right-hand corner, and it's a goal for the visiting Jaguars. And guess who? Lauren Crane finds the back of the net for the 4th time this season. What a ball from the middle of the field, and Lauren Crane finds the hole through Karen Pete and Nicole Grellner and blasts it past the senior Jessie Beckman.
An excellent play there from the midfield to the forward, Lauren Crane, and she delivers. The Jaguars executing on their first chance here of this match to go up 1-0. An excellent play there from Fort Zumwalt West.
Lauren Crane's been a little bit quiet so far today, but that's all it takes in soccer. One big play, and they're involved directly, and that's where she was there. As you mentioned, Emily, great play from the midfield. That assist was just perfectly placed through the Knights defense, and that's what it takes to beat a strong Knights core. With 24 minutes remaining, the Knights trail by a score of 1-0 here in their opening home game of the 2018 soccer season.
Jaguars here taking this time with the throw-in, wanting to let those Knights settle in and regroup here as they look to go back on the attack on their offense.
Crane tries to get it going through the midfield, and she's able to win a free kick there as it was a handball off of Karen Pete. And here's Crane with it now. She nutmegged the defender, but that's Lauren Shaw going back and winning it for the Knights. And now number 7, Brianna Rutherford. Here's Crane again, puts a move on Katie Richardson. She goes to the middle. You can see the confidence she's playing with now. What a ball there through the midfield, and that is Lauren Shaw who's able to cut it out. But Lauren Crane is getting all over this Knights defense. All right, as Abby Miller plays it out wide, Emily, this Knights team hasn't had any substitutions yet so far. Can you go into detail on why that is?
Absolutely, Dom. This Knights team here playing with a short bench, missing two key players in Katie Arnold and Madeline Wood. They currently only have 3 subs on their bench in sophomores Molly Stott, Elena Furch, and Paige Vanek. This Knights possibly getting worn down about not being able to sub in and transfer their players.
As you mentioned, Vanek was one of the top scorers on the team last year, and as that's Lauren Crane who gets a touch past Lauren Shaw. Paige Vanek had multiple goals last year, including the goal that sent the Knights through to the next round of districts in their first game of the postseason tournament. We'll see if the Knights can try to get her on the field as this half expires. We have 21 minutes now remaining here in the first half. Katie Richardson with the ball now. She does well to get past number 24. That is Genevieve McIntyre. Now Richardson continues her run, plays it out wide to Sam Carey. Excellent play there from the Knights. She takes a touch, takes another, she goes down, and it looks like it's a foul called against the Jaguars. Was it in the box? We cannot tell. We'll see what they call. Yep, it looks like it was outside of the box just barely, and that'll be a free kick in a dangerous area for the Knights.
The Knights having minimal opportunities here in this first half, really needing to take advantage of this close free kick, using Carey to hopefully cross to an attacker here in front of the goal and hopefully get a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, Emily, look for number 22, Abby Miller, to try to get on the end of this. One of the tallest players on the team. That's usually who they aim for. However, that's also who the defense marks the heaviest. Here Sam Carey's ball comes in. It's a good delivery. It goes to the back post. It comes in. That's Katie Richardson, but she loses it. Here comes the counterattack for the Jaguars. Trying to play it through was number 16. That was Ashlyn Hunt, but it did not go through for the Jaguars. Nicole Grellner gets past one, gets past two, and plays it out wide for Shaw. Shaw, first touch, turns it over. Here come the Jags and Lauren Crane down the wing. She's got a couple defenders on her. She cuts it back. Once again, playing smart football, and here is Katie Richardson. Crane with it now. She takes a shot looking for that ESPN top 10 play, but that trickles its way outside. Strong attack there on the counter by the Jaguars. After the free kick, they cleared it immediately, and Crane, among others, were able to lead a dangerous attack and put pressure on the senior goalkeeper, Jessie Beckman. Under 20 minutes now, the Knights still trail 1-0. Here's Julia Christensen. She loses it to number 20, Maddie Crawford. Lauren Shaw with it now. She takes up touch and plays it to number 7, Brianna Rutherford, and now Christensen plays it to Rutherford again. That takes a deflection, however, off of a Jaguar, and now a throw-in comes for the Knights. Looks like we have a pair of subs coming in. One of them is Paige Vanek, as we talked about earlier, and the other appears to be number 19, Elena Furch. Both players have attacking mindsets. As we talked about earlier, Vanek, one of the top scorers, plays in a forward role, and Furch plays in an attacking midfielder role. And that gets past Sam Carey, and here come the Jaguars. What a counter here. What a run. She continues her run and plays it into the middle, looking for the forward striker. However, that's Jessie Beckman able to cut down the attack. Good job getting back by Carey. That ball's played out wide, and here come the Knights playing it back to Carey. Carey plays it first time, looking for one of her Knights. However, that goes out of play and possession in favor of the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars.
The Knights, of course, subbing in Paige Vanek and Elena Furch for Brianna Rutherford and number 8, Julia Christensen. The Knights looking here to get fresh legs, hopefully to get some energy as we have 17 minutes left in the first half. The Knights still looking for that scoring opportunity, have had plenty of good chances through crosses from their wings, Abby Miller and Sam Carey. Still looking for that one goal, though, to tie up this match here against Fort Zumwalt West. And here they go.
Foul called against the Knights there, and a free kick around the 20-yard line for the Jags. Here's Nicole Garner. She lets it roll and plays out wide to Sam Carey. Carey takes a touch and plays it up the field. However, no one was there. The Knights had to start trying to find someone on the other end of these passes, or they're going to keep giving the ball and keep giving scoring opportunities and attacking possessions to this Jaguars team. Chasing it down there for the Knights was Megan Crane. And that's a good interception there by Katie Richardson, but caught her off guard. And here come the Jaguars again. Sam Carey able to intercept it, and she plays it up the field, looking for Crane. However, that's a center back for the Jaguars, winning possession for Zumwalt West. Number 7, Katie Hickey tries to put a spin move on Abby Miller. That does not work, and Miller gives a spin move of her own to Hickey, but that pass intended for Lauren Shaw, or Paige Vanek, excuse me, is able to find its destination, but after a couple of bounces. That ball goes out of play. Throw in with 16 minutes remaining for the Zumwalt West Jaguars. All right, Emily, with under 16 minutes now remaining, what have you seen from this Jaguars team?
Jaguars have done a great job of staying disciplined. They're making good passes, not trying anything risky, not trying anything too fancy, really staying to the basics of soccer. And of course, how can we not talk about Lauren Crane, her incredible offensive effort, having the only goal in this game, having lots of good scoring opportunities, able to push past numerous Knights defenders to get some good scoring opportunities for this team. They haven't come a lot, but the Jaguars have also done a good job of trying to capitalize on the few scoring opportunities that have been made in this game. On both sides, the defensive efforts have been really well, really staying in between the 30-yard lines of this game. The Knights and the Jaguars not really allowing many scoring opportunities in this match.
You're right about that, Emily. The one chance that the Jaguars have capitalized on was that Lauren Crane cross. Lauren Crane goal. That is the goalkeeper, Day, who's had quite a day so far, shutting that one down. Under 15 minutes now remaining here in the first half. That ball bounces over number 2, Ellie Keeley, and the Knights were trying to get on the jump right there, right off the kickoff, or right off the possession. However, that goes all the way back to Day once again. Abby Miller with a nice touch there, playing it back for Katie Richardson, who plays it to Abby Miller, who was still on the ground at the time, but she's able to get up and play it to Nicole Grellner. Grellner looking out wide for her winger. However, that did not work out for the Knights. That's Megan Crane in the left back role now as Sam Kerr gets a rest. And number 7, Brianna Rutherford, goes to the striker position in favor of the now left back, Megan Crane. Crane takes a heavy touch, and that's possession won by Keeley. Keeley tries to get it out wide and takes a deflection off of what looked to be Abby Miller out there, and it's a throw-in for the Zumwalt West Jaguars.
Miller looking a little shaken up here on this field. She's taken a couple of hard falls here in this first half, and she's looking to get her momentum back. A key player here for this Knights team. She will be attending SLU in the fall of 2019, playing soccer at the St. Louis University Division I.
Here come the Knights, one of the most dangerous attacks of the game so far. Here comes Christensen. She takes a touch, and that is deflected off of a Jaguar, and the Jaguars are able to win possession. That is what they've been doing so well so far. As you mentioned earlier, Emily, these defenses have been giving no wiggle room for either team. And once again, what looked to be a dangerous attack was cut out almost immediately by the stout Jaguars defense. Here's Nicole Grellner now with Jesse Beckman. Beckman plays out wide for Shaw. Shaw takes a touch and loses it to number 3, that is Nichols. Nichols plays it into the middle. Here come the Jags, and that was a miscommunication there between the midfielder and Nichols. However, takes a deflection and goes out for a Jaguars corner. The first corner kick of the game for either team. Coming onto the field for the first time tonight is number 5, Ava Keeley, the sister of the senior number 2, Ellie Keeley.
Karen Pete, and here comes Julie Christensen and Brianna Rutherford. Julie Christensen fighting against a Katie Healy there, excuse me, Katie Hilke. That ball pass back for the goalkeeper, Jesse Beckman. Beckman going far. That pass looking like it was intended for Abby Miller, but here comes Brianna Rutherford chasing this ball.
Vanek chasing it for the Knights, and here comes number 13. That is Ashlyn Nichols. Plays it up front, and here's the other Nichols, Caitlin Nichols, but Nicole Groen was able to come back and clear that one away. However, that is all the way to the right back for the Zumwalt West Jaguars. Paige Anderson. Nice touch there by number 7, Brianna Rutherford. She weighs her out options and plays it into the middle for Paige Vanek, and she takes a touch. It's on her left, and she takes a shot, but that's good defending by the Jaguars, and she was on her own island up there. No real support behind her, but however, that was a good attack there for the Knights, and Lauren Shaw chasing it down, wins possession for the Knights. And the substitution is made. Courtney Arena coming in for the forward. Sorry to keep you waiting there. Sorry to keep you in suspense. That was number 8, Julia Kirstensen, who came off the field for the Howell North Knights. Mark Oleg with a nice little pass there, showing off his soccer skills. And Katie Richardson. Under 10 minutes now, and here come the Jaguars. What a touch there by the Jags, and here comes Caitlin Nichols. She was, well, the Knights bench was arguing for her to be offside. However, she remained on, and here comes Katie Richardson. Katie Richardson, a little bit fatigued so far, but she's able to beat a couple defenders and play it back to junior Abby Miller. Abby Miller takes a touch and plays it out wide for the winger. Looks like a foul was called there as Abby Miller was taken down yet again. You mentioned earlier, Emily, she's taken a couple of shots so far. She's ended up on the ground a couple of times, and that's led to a couple of free kicks for the Howell North Knights.
Another player off the field, Sam Carey here, getting some attention from the trainer. Looks like she might be bleeding out of the side of her leg after taking a fall. Still keeping a bright attitude, though. The Knights looking to get up and bring up their energy here with 9 minutes left in the first half.
Nice 1-2 play between Lauren Crane and number 13, that is Ashlyn Nichols, and the ball comes through. Looking for the forward, that is Ashlyn Hunt, trying to chase it down, but that's Jessie Beckman cutting it out for the Knights. She punts it away, and that goes straight under the Knights midfielder there. And nice little triangle play there from the Jags. However, the Knights defense is able to cut down Megan Crane, but she loses it to Nichols. Here's, looks to be Lauren Crane chasing down. Now it's number 16, Hunt. Hunt trying to win it back, and Karen Pete's able to muscle her off and win possession back for the Knights. Dangerous attack there from the Jaguars, and Paige Vanek with it now. She cuts it back, plays it to Shaw. Shaw trying to find number 9, that is Courtney Arena, but that goes out of play in favor of the Zumwalt West Jaguars. Vanek shows off her skills and tries to get past 2, but that's Grace Wright who wins a free kick in favor of the Jaguars as Vanek ran into the back of her with just 7 minutes now remaining here in the first half.
The Jaguars here stepping up their attack here in the final minutes of the first half, maintaining possession for a long time here, using players such as Grace Wright and Lauren Crane. Now the cross, Beckman has it covered, or fighting against the defenders, and Beckman, unfortunately not able to settle that ball, catch it, and that is a goal for the Fort Zumwalt Jaguars.
And Emily, it looked to be Lauren Crane who got her second goal of the game there, and a little bit of a mess in the back end there, but however she's able to finish it and get her second of tonight's fixture. Knights now in a 2-goal hole, and this is the worst position they've been in all season so far, as they have not lost the game yet this season. And what a ball that is through the middle, but Karen Pete's able to cut it down, and she takes a touch, however, and it's getting a little bit dicey back there, but she plays it to Paige Vanek. Vanek tries to play 1-2 with Lauren Shaw. However, that pass was not close enough for Vanek and takes a deflection off of Shaw and goes out for a throw-in for the Jaguars. That is goal numero 5 for the Jaguars, for Lauren Crane. Evan Miller takes a touch and plays it out wide to the winger. Here's Vanek. She tries to play it up the field for Arena. That goes out of play, however, and it's another possession for the Jaguars. Okay, Emily, you talked about earlier how the Jaguars have been having a lasting possession over the last 10 to 15 minutes, and you are right about that. That's because the Knights, every time they get the ball, they try to play it up the field immediately, but they cannot do that, however, because of the good pressure put on by the Jaguars. If they keep playing this high-tempo defense and attacking, and keep this attacking mindset, it's going to be a really difficult night for this Knights team. Here's Paige Vanek, but she's got a couple options in the middle. They have numbers here if they can take advantage. Here's Christensen. She takes a touch, and that goes back to the Jaguars' defense, and they're able to deal with it well. Lauren Crane with the now. Crane plays it into the middle, and that has too much power on it to go by Ellie Keeley. Good touch there by Abby Miller. She plays it to the midfielder. She plays it back to Katie Richardson, and she goes back and plays it out wide to Megan Crane. Crane takes a touch, a heavy one, but it's a good one. Now it's Megan Crane with it again. She cuts back and makes it move past 2 defenders. Great job there by Crane. She cuts it through the middle. She's got Kate Richardson to her right if she wants her, however she loses it there. Nicole Groner chases it down, wins possession for the Knights. Courtney Arena trying to win possession for the Knights, but she loses it and takes a deflection off of Arena. And with 4 minutes now remaining here in the first half, the Knights still trail 2-0. Here comes Abby Miller, now number 7, Brianna Rutherford. Rutherford loses possession, however, and here come the Knights. Nicole Grellner with it. She's pulled back a little bit. The ref lets it go, and she takes a tumble, but still nothing called by the ref. Here comes the counter for the Jags, and they got numbers here, 2-on-1. Lauren Crane in the middle. The ball's played in, looking for Crane, and Lauren Shaw is able to clear it. Good job there by the sophomore defender. Time running out here in the first half for the Knights to try to cut this Jaguars lead from 2-1. It's not been the best start for this Knights team. We talked about earlier, Emily, they haven't been able to get passes to connect so far, some of them without any true destinations, which have led to lasting Jaguars possessions. We'll see if the Knights can try to build something here in the closing minutes and try to have some meaning behind some of their passes. Here's Katie Richardson. Richardson cuts it back, chased by Lauren Crane. She finds Abby Miller. Miller takes it past the 40 and switches the field nicely to Lauren Shaw. She got Paige Vanek in front of her and Katie Richardson in the middle. Ulwig tells her to take it forward with just a couple minutes left here in the half. 2 minutes and 40 to be exact. Here comes Shaw. She does really well to get past a couple. And now it's Arena. Arena is able to win the ball here nicely for the Knights. Here is Paige Vanek now. Vanek finds Shaw. Shaw coming from the defensive role to try to help this Knights attack. Here comes Vanek now. She plays it into the middle. However, that goes out of play, and it'll be a goal kick for the Jaguars. Deflating there for the Knights, as that was one of their best possessions all night long. Really opening up this Jaguars team through Lauren Shaw, Paige Vanek, and Katie Richardson.
Shaw and Vanek, of course, two sophomores on this team, 2 years of experience on varsity here, with this being their second season, clearly showing their connection, having played together, having experience together, able to keep that possession going there for the Knights.
Under 2 minutes now remaining here in the half. Abby Miller plays it back to Sam Carey, who's come back onto the field now, but she loses the ball. However, the defender there for the Jags was unable to contain possession, and with 1:30 remaining, the Knights will be on the offensive side of the ball. Brianna Rutherford trying to do some dizzle and the dazzle, but that goes out of play. Now Sam Carey wins it for the Knights. She plays it into the middle for Katie Richardson. Richardson waits for the ball to come down, however, she waited a little bit too long there, but Karen Pete's able to make up for the error and play it back to Carey. Carey now to Abby Miller. Miller, who's been playing this entire half, the ball is glued to her feet. Some people might call her messy after that. However, Katie Richardson plays it out wide to Lauren Shaw. Shaw plays it first time, looking for number 9, that is Courtney Arena, but she really probably should have taken a touch there. Lauren Crane lets it go past her. Now Katie Richardson. Richardson has got Abby Miller making a run. She tries to find Miller on the run, but that does not work out. Under a minute now remaining. Sam Carey cuts it out, and Nicole Gunner passes it to Abby Miller. Miller passes it straight to Katie Richardson, who takes a touch, takes a couple, now finds Arena. Arena going one way, going another, now plays it to Richardson. Richardson plays it to Abby Miller. Here comes Miller. She cuts it back. She's got a couple options now. And here come the Knights. Lauren Crane on the defensive side of the ball. Here is Lauren Shaw. Shaw takes a touch. 25 seconds now remains. She takes another, tries to keep going, and it takes a deflection off of Shaw. And with just 20 seconds remaining, that was probably the last opportunity of the half for the Lady Knights. Bay takes her time with the goal kick, as her team is satisfied with how their team has looked so far in this game. 30 seconds now remaining. Miller heads it forward, and that is the end of an action-packed first half of high school soccer that has seen the Knights go into the half trailing by a score of 2-0.
Absolutely, Dom. A thrilling first half here. Seen some great plays on both ends of the ball. But, Dom, what were you most impressed with here on this first half for both teams?
On the Jaguars side of the ball, Emily, I'm really impressed with how organized they are all across the field. Their midfield is fighting other players. Their defense is not letting any opportunities go by them. And then Lauren Crane has been lethal, as always, in the attack. On the Knights side of the ball, while it wasn't the best half of soccer for the team, they still have some bright spots. They were really dangerous going down the wings with Lauren Shaw, Sam Carey, Abby Miller. If they can keep attacking those wings and keep attacking those left backs and right backs of the Jaguars, they can try to create some more room for Megan Crane, Julia Christensen, Rutherford, and all the other forwards on this Knights team. Once again, my name is Dominic Osher, bringing you Tonight's Action here with Emily Hood on FHNtoday.com/live. At the end of the first half of the Knights' first home game of the season, they trail by a score of 2-0 to the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars. we are back for the second half of soccer action here at Francistown North between the Varsity Girls Soccer team from Francistown North and the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars. The Jaguars lead by a score of 2-0, and that is how the second half starts off in this Tuesday night fixture here at Hal North. Once again, my name is Dominic Osher here with my partner Emily Hood, bringing you tonight's action here on FHNtoday.com/live. Foul call there against the Jaguars, and the Knights will take a free kick here right around the 20-yard line. Make it the 25-yard line. Here come the Knights now. Here's Abby Miller. Miller tries to cut it back. She loses the ball to the Jags. That was number 3, Caitlin Nichols, who had a busy first half winning it for the Jaguars. And they keep possession here out on the wing behind. That is number 11, Asha Hainbrink. Sam Carey with it now. And that is number 9, Courtney Arena. Passing it back to Carey. Carey takes on 2 defenders and plays it up the field looking for what looks to be number 8, Julia Christensen, who chases it again. Brianna Rutherford loses the ball to the Jaguars, and now it's Lauren Crane.
And here come the Jaguars. Jaguars looking for Grace Wright, Wright going deep in the corner, being chased down by Sam Terry. That ball knocked out of play by Terry, and will go for a corner for the Jaguars. Jaguars here coming out early on the attack, maintaining a lot of possession here in the first 3 minutes of this half. Free kick will be taken by number 23, Jen McIntyre. Excuse me, it looks like that's a throw-in for the Jaguars. That ball cleared away by Katie Richardson. Julia Christensen goes, Julia Christensen with the ball, plays it up to Sam Terry. Sam Terry working through a Jaguars defender, and goes up to Julia Christensen. Christensen looking to cross the ball there to Brianna Rutherford, but that ball cleared away by Grace Wright.
So Emily, you mentioned how the Jaguars have come off to a strong start in terms of possession here in the second half, which means the Knights have to start being dangerous on the counterattack. So when the Jaguars take an attack and lose it in the second third of the field, they have to try to put more pressure on this Jaguars defense with Speeders and Julia Christensen, among others, leading the counter.
That ball now played up to Brianna Rutherford. Rutherford working through 2 defenders, sprinting away, might have a bit of a breakaway up here, has options up on top. Rutherford looking to take a shot. That ball is handled by Camille Day for the Jaguars. Day punting the ball up the field. That ball intended for number 12, Lexi Baher. And here come the Jaguars. The Jaguars looking for Grace Wright. Wright and Carey once again here in this corner. Carey clearing that ball away. That will be a throw-in favor of the Jaguars.
And we didn't see too much of number 19, Grace Wright, in the first half of the game. However, she's come out in the second half soaring with confidence, and in terms of possession, she's attacking Sam Carey in this right wing of the Knights, and she's putting a lot of pressure on the back line. She can keep it up. That's one of the most dangerous attackers on the team, to go along with Lauren Crane and others on this Jaguars squad.
Shaw there turning the ball over, and the Jaguars here looking to settle down on the back of Paige Anderson. Christensen there looking to fight against number 22, Rachel Cox, or excuse me, Jen McIntyre there. She's taken down. A foul is called. The Knights will take a free kick from about the 26-yard line.
Definitely a foul there, Emily. However, it looked like junior Sam Carey was soaring at the ball right there in full speed and a full sprint, and she wanted that to be an advantage play, which means that they would play on until the next touch from the Jaguars, and that's when the free kick would occur. However, the Knights were forced to take the free kick instead, which goes out of play. And as opposed to the free kick, they would have had a possession with Sam Carey running at full speed at Jaguars defense, and that's something they haven't seen all game long, which would have been a difficult challenge to overcome for Fort Zumwalt West. Under 35 minutes now remaining here in the second half.
Karen Pete passing up to Miller. Miller fighting against the Jaguars defender, looking to cut around her. Goes number 4, Sam Carey. Carey passing by Grace Wright, working against another defender, that is number 11, Asha Hainbrick. Hainbrick takes the ball, goes back to Wright, and Wright back to Hainbrick. Hainbrick sending that ball flying. That ball is settled by Grace Pete, but unfortunately she turns it over to the Jaguars. Grace Wright here. That ball staying in play. Carey, an impressive diving play. Now, Abby Miller working through 2 defenders, goes back to Katie Richardson.
That's Lauren Shaw trying to win possession for the Knights, and that goes out of play. Abby Miller, you said, made that move past 2 defenders. She's been the most dangerous player all night long for this Howell North team. She's been beating every defender that she goes against and creating the most dangerous opportunities for the Knights so far. They have to keep giving her the ball. She has it now if the Knights want to try to get past this stout Jaguars defense.
Now up the left, number 9, Courtney Arena. Arena working through the Knights defenders, looking for Miller. Miller not expecting that pass. Miller and Wright. Wright knocking that ball out of play, and that will be a throw-in in favor of Frankstown North. Sam Carey taking this throw-in here for her team. Looking for options, has quite a few of them. Carey taking a few steps forward, looking for Julia Christensen on the left ring. Christensen going up against number 7, Katie Hilke. That ball going off number 23, Jen McIntyre, and that will be a throw-in. Carey again taking this throw-in here for the Knights.
So Carey in that left back role, Emily, is asked to play a defensive role for this Knights team. However, so far in the second half, we've seen her go up the field more and more as she's one of the most dangerous attackers on the team as well. And we'll see if they keep going forward with Sam Carey and try to create more opportunities through her. She's one of the most talented players on the team. It's like a free kick was called there against the Jaguars, and a good position here for Sam Carey and the Knights as they take this free kick outside the 15-yard line.
Carey, they were taking a little shove there from Grace Wright. Looks to take this free kick. Looking to cross it in. Looking for Brianna Rutherford, but that ball is handled by Camille Day there. Day hustling up to the front of the box. Huge punt there from Camille Day, looking for number 11, Asha Hainbrick. Excuse me, that is number 12, Lexi Baher. Baher taking the ball up the field, surrounded by 2 defenders. Corner here in favor of the Jaguars. That ball knocked out of bounds by Karen Pete.
Yeah, Emily, this is the third corner of the game so far for the Jaguars, and this is where they got their second goal. We'll see if the Knights are a little bit more composed on this edition of the corner kick as we have 30 minutes left to play. Look out for number 4, Lauren Crane, in this position. Ball comes in, it's a couple Knights failed to clear. It looks like that was Nicole Grellner who missed there, but Jessie Beckman stays composed and takes possession now for the Knights.
Beckman there, rolling kick taken by Grellner. Grellner goes back to Carey on the left wing. Carey going up, knocking Grace Wright, and Carey goes back again, Wright chasing after her. These two battling it out here on the left wing once again here in the back corner of the Knights field. Julia Christensen, that ball passing her, and she will fight against Paige Anderson. That ball knocked out of play and will be a throw-in for the Knights.
In the first half, Emily, we talked about this Knights attack being most dangerous through the wings. And so far, they have been unable to do anything on those positions in the second half, as it looks like the Jaguars have adjusted during the halftime break to try to stop the wingers and Sam Carey, Lauren Shaw, among others. Looks like the Knights can try to play more through in the middle now. And if they can play through the middle, that means the Jaguars will be forced to try to open up their defense rather, and that could lead to more outside opportunities through Carey and the wingbacks and the wingers on this Knights team.
Julie Christensen there, that ball going back, pass back to the Jaguars, and now here comes number 13, Ashlyn Nichols. Nichols going down, that ball is settled here in the center field. Jaguars passing the ball forward, that is intercepted by Katie Richardson. Maddie Crawford now passing that ball. But Lauren Shaw sprinting here for this ball, looking for options, looking for Brianna Rutherford. And here comes Julia Christensen. That ball knocked around through some of the Jaguars' defense. Christensen looking desperately to try and get a spot to get over, but they will maintain possession for a throw-in.
Really strong player out of the back there for the Knights. So far, their most danger attacks in the second half have come from the left and right back positions. First it was Sam Carrier earlier in the half, now it's Lauren Shaw from the right back role. They come at a full sprint from that defensive position, and fatigue is no problem for either of them. However, that pass goes out of play off of Abby Miller, but they can keep getting those attacks through the right backs. That means that the Jaguar defenders are going to be drawn towards the pressing wingback, and that can open up opportunities for Christensen, Shaw, or any other attackers on this Knights team.
Shaw taking in that throw and knocking that ball out of play. Another throw in here for the Jaguars. Jaguars looking for Paige Anderson. McIntyre goes back to Nichols on the right. Shaw taking that ball, catching the leg of Ashlyn Nichols, sending her out. That will result in a free kick here for the Jaguars. Excuse me, that will be a throw-in for the Knights. That ball going off a Jaguars defender. Karen Pete here settling that ball, clearing it, goes to Shaw. Shaw not able to settle that pass, and that ball will go out of bounds. Free kick now for Carey. The Knights pressing forward, looking to get some scoring opportunities here as we have 26 minutes left in the second half. Carey taking this free kick. Brianna Rutherford here fighting for that pass. She also goes up against Julie Christensen's Katie Richardson now pushing past Grace Wright. Nicole Grellner now with the ball. Grellner passes forward, looks to Miller. Miller, an excellent pass there to Brianna Rutherford, but that ball is handled by the Jaguars. Karen Pete here intercepting a pass intended for number 11, Asha Hainbrigg. Julia Christensen goes down, that ball cleared by the Jaguars. Karen Pete chasing after it, and not far behind her is Lauren Crane. Beckman taking the pass back. She goes to Lauren Shaw on the right. Shaw and Vanek once again looking for that connection that they had here earlier in the first half.
And here come the Jaguars, but that's Lauren P. able to cut it down. Here come the Knights on a counter. Here's Abby Miller playing it to number 7. It looks to be Brandon Rutherford. Rutherford plays it back to Miller, and here come the Knights. A couple real good runs here, but the Knights, here comes Rutherford. What a ball there from Abby Miller. Rutherford takes the touch, plays it to what looked to be, what a goal. That is a fantastic strike there from what looked to be number 9, Courtney No, number 8, Julia Christensen. What a goal there by the Knights. One of their best possessions all night long, going back and forth between Arena and Rutherford. And then to finish it off, to get the crucial goal, was number 8, Julia Christensen. It was a great play there by Rutherford to hold the play up and play it on the second touch over to the freshman forward, Julia Christensen, who made no mistake about the finish off of the right post and in to beat the goalkeeper, Camille Day, for the first time today. With 25 minutes remaining, the Knights trail by 1. That is goal numero uno on the season for the freshman. Day collects the ball for the Knights, or for the Jaguars rather, and Emily, you can start to see this team playing with a little bit more confidence. Knights are starting to get a lot more confident possessions, and here comes another really strong attack. Number 7, Brandon Rutherford on the way. She takes a turn and loses the ball. However, can the Knights press on to try to win the ball back? Underrated hero on that attack was the defender Karen Pete. She started it all by winning it back in the center back position, played it forward to Rutherford, and that led to the Knights' goal. Here's Abby Miller. She gets past her defender world-classly. Magisterial play there from Miller. Now she plays out wide, looking for the sophomore Paige Vanek. Vanek chases it down to the corner, tries to get a touch to cut it back, and she knocks out a play, possession, and throw-in for the Jaguars.
Jaguars here taking the time with their throw-in, looking for Grace Wright, that ball off the head of Paige Vanek. Sam Carey settling this ball, taking a quick throw-in here for the Knights, looking for options. Carey looking for Julia Christensen. She is battling against number 11, Asha Hainbrick. That ball going out of play will be a throw-in for the Jaguars. Throw-in for the Jaguars goes to number 7, Katie Hilke. Julie Christensen getting knocked down on that play, and a turnover for the Jaguars. Jaguars looking to settle this ball. Number 20, Maddie Crawford clearing it. Karen Pete chasing off of that ball, trying to clear, but the Jaguars are right behind her. Pete going back. Nicole Relmer. A bit of a weird pass there, not quite sure where that one was going to, and that ball, it's Karen Pete keeping that ball in play. Katie Richardson now. Richardson charging up midfield. Richardson, 2 defenders on her, goes to Brianna Rutherford. Rutherford looking for Paige Vanek. Vanek, and an excellent opportunity here. Breakaway, 2 defenders closing in, looking for a shot, wasn't able to get one. Goes back to Sam Carey on the left wing. Carey working through 2 defenders there with 3 girls on her, looking to cross. That ball easily cleared away. Vanek trying to take a shot, but that ball finally cleared away there by Paige Anderson.
Emily, this Knights attack is looking posed as they have all season long coming into this game. First half was a bit of a struggle, but now through Abby Miller, Katie Richardson, and the central midfielders, they're really starting to look confident. And here comes Shaw. Shaw, look at that run. She continues going now. Paige Vanek going for the ball. She's going to the corner. She tries to chase it down, but she will not get there. No one would have gotten there. Not even Usain Bolt. That goes out of play for a goal kick in favor of the Jaguars.
That's right, Dom. Like you said, this Knights attack looking poised and confident as ever. Still plenty of time to play here. The Knights trail by 1 with 21 minutes left in this second half. Sam Carey looking for a corner here for the Knights. A great scoring opportunity, of course, looking for tall players like Abby Miller here on this attack. A substitution is made here for the Jaguars. It looks like Ashlyn Nichols has come back into the game. Christensen there looking for a shot. An excellent high shot there by Paige Vanek. Unfortunately goes right over the top of the bar, and that will be a goal kick for Camille Day.
So in the first half, Emily, we saw the Knights really struggle to get possessions going. Every time they got possession, They turned it over almost in like under 30 seconds, Emily, which led to possessions for the Jaguars. However, the Jaguars could never really get an attack going as they try to get balls through the middle for Crane and company. It worked a couple times, but they weren't able to really get a stable attack going. In the second half, it's been the reverse, and however, since the the opposite of what's happened is the Knights have been able to get strong attacks and put pressure on this back line of the Jaguars. We've seen in the second half, since they had a 2-goal lead at first, they tried to play a little bit safe, park the bus a little bit, Jose Mourinho style, and really play it conservative. However, that's led to more and more Knights attacks. Sam Carey chasing it down, and she tries to slide in, try to win it against Nichols, but that goes out of play off of the Knights. Throw in now for the Jaguars, and coming onto the field is senior Madeline Wood. Coming off the field is the goal scorer, Julia Christensen. Madeline Wood, one of the veterans on the team, as a senior in her final year on the squad. She goes into that central midfield role. We'll see how big of an impact she can make here in the second half. St. Carey plays it to Abby Miller on the first time. What a cutback there by Miller. Carey to Vanek. Vanek playing to Miller. And this is vintage night soccer right here. Here comes Paige Vanek on the left wing. She's got a couple options in the middle, including Katie Richardson. The ball comes in, and Day tries to get it, but it takes a bounce, and she is able to get it now. Mark Oleg holds his head on the sideline. He can't believe that, but Day is able to stay composed and collect it for the Jaguars. And once again, this Knights team proving their quality, as it was a really good triangle play there between Vanek and Carey and Miller. And when they're playing at their best, this Knights team is one of the best teams, not just in the GAC South, but in the local area. Miller wins it for the Knights. Every pass is finding its destination. We talked a lot about that in the first half, but it was the opposite. They couldn't find their destination, but now they are. Here's Katie Richardson. She takes a touch, muscles a defender, and here's Vanek. Vanek tries to get something going, but Nicole Grunner is able to win the ball back around the 40-yard line and plays it to Richardson. Nope, that's Lauren Shaw. Shaw goes through two. She takes on a third. She just lost it, rolled right off her foot. Always frustrated on the sideline, as are the Knights faithful. But however, they win the ball back almost immediately after. They continue to do this time after time again here in this half. They are showing their composure and their strength. And here comes Nicole Grunner. Grunner plays it to Richardson. Richardson plays it out wide, looking for Paige Vanek. Vanek's unable to get to the end of that, however. And she takes a touch. She almost won it back for the Knights, as looks like the right back there for the Jaguars was just confident letting it roll out. However, the pressure from Paige Vanek forces a goal kick rather than something else. With just 17 minutes left here in the second half, the Knights trail by one, but are getting close to getting that second goal. Here's Banks, takes it just inside, now Sam Carey. Carey takes on her defender, she says, come at me, bro, and she goes right past her. She tries to cut it in, and that takes a deflection off of a Jaguar, a corner kick for the Knights.
Sam Carey looking to take this corner for the Knights. Carey taking time. The Knights looking to tie up this match here. Abby Miller taking the header. That ball going above the goal, knocking into the football goalpost, and that will be a free goal kick, for Camille Day.
In the other football, that's 3 points. However, they're not going to get 3 points for that. It'll be a goal kick instead for the Jaguars with 16 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in the second half. Once again, my name is Dominic Koster here with Emily Hood, bringing you tonight's action here on FHNtoday.com/live. And thank you for tuning in. What a ball there from the forwards for the Jaguars. Here comes Sam Carey now. Sam Carey is able to win it and kick it out of play. Here's Lauren Crane. She tries to get something going. She's unable to do so. The ball comes in. Dangerous. And it gets past Beckman. And that is an unfortunate chain of events there for the Knights. And it's a goal for the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars. It looked to be Number 19, Grace Wright, who got the goal. We'll confirm here in a second. It was not Grace Wright, however, it was Ashlyn Hunt. She just sent the ball in, trying to find a forward. However, Beckman watched it go past her as it took kind of a nasty bounce there. Harsh luck of the draw there for the senior. And now Paige Van takes possession. The Knights trying to get that second goal back almost immediately after. Really unlucky for this team as they've been the better team here in the second half. They're going to try to get it back almost immediately after. Here's Sam Carey chasing it down, showing her speed. She tries to get past one defender. She's showing her back and tries to make a move. Well, she makes the move perfectly and wins a corner kick. No, they're going to say a goal kick. It looked like it took a deflection off of a Jaguar, but the ref seems to disagree, and the Knights faithful here disagree with him. 15 minutes now remain. The Knights trail by a score of 3-1 here in their first home game of the 2018 season.
Day now, killing time off the clock. Miller fighting for that pass. Taryn Pete and her two defenders, Nicole Grellner and Lauren Shaw, fight back for that pass. That pass goes up to Julia Christensen. Paige Van Eck now fighting for that pass, going up against number 21, Jamie Cohen. Cohen going down on the play, looking a little shaky to get up. The Knights push forward. Grellner chipping that pass up. The ref will whistle, make sure that Cohen is good to go and get up back on the play.
While we wait to see the status on this Jamie Cullen incident, she's onto the field for one of the first times tonight as the Jaguars are trying to get a fresh look onto the field as the time gets closer and closer to expiring, putting fresh legs on that the team hasn't seen yet, such as Cohen can lead to dangerous attacks and more energy on the field for the Jaguars. That ball's cleared away from Nicole Grellner and headed away by what looked to be Madeline Wood. Takes a deflection off Katie Richardson there. She was not ready for that, however, and there goes Grellner to the ground, and that is a foul call against the Jaguars. Excuse me, that was not Grellner, however, that was number 8, Julia Christensen. Christensen recently came back onto the field, trying to get her second goal of the game here with just 13 minutes now remaining. Abby Miller with the ball. She takes on 3 defenders and beats them all. Katie Richardson. She continues her run like a freight train now. She has a couple options, including Sam Carey in the middle. Carey with it now. She plays it to Paige Vanek. Vanek out to Richardson. Richardson waits for Carey to make the run, and she tries to play it to Carey on the run, but that does not work out. Substitution coming in for the Knights. That is Paige Vanek coming off the field in favor of number 7, Brianna Rutherford. Rutherford played a huge role in the first goal of the game for the Knights, trying to get that rhythm back in their attack. Sam Carey to take the throw in as Paige Vanek gets instructions from Ulwig, might be coming back into this game here in a few minutes. Richardson with it now. She tries to get past the defender, but she goes to the ground. Good job there by the Jaguars to put pressure. Here's Lauren Crane. Crane loses it, however, Lauren Shaw has had an excellent second half, showing no signs of fatigue, putting pressure on this Jaguars team. She continues her run. She continues going. She takes on the entire team. Now she's got 2 of her opponent Jaguars watching, and she loses the ball. However, Katie Richardson's able to recover immediately after, and she tries to get the ball, but she just loses it there, and Nicole Grellner is able to win it back. That was number 24, Rachel Cox. Ball's cleared away from Nicole Grellner. The Knights try to win it back. Katie Richardson all over, and now she plays it out wide for the wingback Madeline Wood. Wood takes a touch and cuts it back. Here comes Abby Miller. Miller's had a strong game, trying to continue it here in the second half. Plays it up to number 7, Rutherford. Rutherford loses it, and here comes Lauren Crane with given plenty of room, now chased down by Abby Miller. Miller wants to go out wide, and here come the Jaguars on the left wing. 11 minutes now remaining, and the Jaguars on the offensive side of the ball for one of the first times this half besides their goal. Here's Crane. Ball cleared away, but Crane's able to get back almost immediately after.
Push up midfield. Come on, you're giving him 20 yards.
That's number 5, Keeley, trying to take a touch, but she loses it. Sam Carey trying to cut it back the other way, plays it up the field. Nope, that takes a deflection. Now the Jaguars do well to keep possession with Genevieve McIntyre.
Healy taking that throw in. Number 4, Lauren Crane looking for a cross pass there. Beckman there settling, not quite settling that ball, but that ball is knocked out of bounds there off the Jaguars. And it looks like that will be a goal kick for Beckman. So Dom, with just under 10 minutes here left in the second half, what do you think the Knights need to do to come back in here, score 2 goals, possibly try to force this game into overtime?
Well, Emily, what they did in the opening moments of this second half were attack through the central midfielder. Abby Miller, Katie Richardson, as well as forwards coming back, and examples being Brianna Rutherford and Courtney Arena. Through them and through their central midfield, they had their most dangerous attacks in this half, which counters what we said earlier about how they attacked through the wings, but the Jaguars were able to shut that down, so they had to try to play it through the middle, and that worked out well for their first goal. However, they have been unable to do that since their goal, and we'll see if they can try to keep it up, or try to get back to that form and rhythm here in the closing 9 minutes of the second half.
That ball back to Genevieve McIntyre. McIntyre with some time here. Brianna Rutherford coming up on her. Now Ashlyn Nichols here on the right. Nichols challenged by Wood. She goes back to number 24. Lauren Shaw fighting for that ball. That ball going off number 24, and she throws that back in for the Knights. Jaguars regaining possession here. Shaw up against number 4, Lauren Crane here. Throw in for the Knights. Looking for Julia Christensen. Christensen unable to get that ball. Now the Jaguars regain possession. Karen Pete with 2 Jaguars on her, unable to get that pass. And here up the right wing comes number 11, Asha Hainbred.
Looks like the Knights could be in some trouble here. Oh, and it looks like it was a pass back from a Knights defender to Beckman, and Beckman played it with her hand, which means a penalty called against the Knights. Crucial error there with just 7 minutes remaining. It's as close to a PK as you're going to get. It's pretty much a mini free kick here. Here come the Jaguars, and that is a goal for Fort Zumwalt West. Really tough position there for the Knights, as close to a penalty as it's going to get, and penalties are nearly unstoppable in this game, and they proved difficult there as well in a short free kick opportunity for the Jaguars, and they double their lead to 4-1 now. On the free kick, one attacker went by, and then Grace Wright was able to strike it into that left-hand corner and make it a 4-1 Jaguars lead. It's been a really unlucky half for the Knights. They started off so strong in the second half, all over the Jags, putting pressure on their central defenders and their wingbacks, as well as the goalkeeper, which led to their first goal from Christensen. However, since the opening 15 minutes, the Jaguars were able to find their first half form, and they've been really hard to beat in their back line. Sam Carey's ball comes in. Katie Richardson gets a touch on it, and now the Knights try to take possession, but it was a handball with 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
Looks like a Jaguars player here looking a little shaky after that play. Looks like that might be Paige Anderson there squatting down. Anderson here in quite a bit of pain as her coach and players crowd around her. The clock is stopped. Anderson looks to possibly be clutching her eye or her nose, might have caught a ball wrong, or possibly another Knights player there off of that free kick off of Carey.
With this stoppage of play, Mark Lloyd calls over two of his most crucial players, Sam Carey and Abby Miller, to try to figure out a strategy here in these final 6 minutes and try to get a little bit more energy on this team as they get a couple of seconds here to rest before they start up play again. While we had this stoppage of play, if they hold on to get this victory, the Jaguars would improve to 3-2, while the Knights would fall to a record of 2-1-1. In the upcoming schedule for both teams, Fort Zumwalt West will head over to Lafayette tomorrow for a night game against Lafayette, and then Howell North will take on the Troy Buchanan Trojans on Thursday at 6 o'clock at Troy. Our next live stream here on FHNtoday.com/live. You have to go no further than FHNtoday.com/live tomorrow night at 6:45 to see the Varsity Girls Lacrosse team take on their opponents in our first lacrosse live stream of the 2018 year.
Keeley here taking a free kick, and that ball is recovered, it looks like, by number 16, Ashlyn Hunt. Passing back to Nicole Grellner now with the ball. The Knights looking to resettle after that break, taking some rest, looking to fight back here in the final 6 minutes of this game. Grellner looking for Brianna Rutherford. Rutherford, two defenders on her. She goes up looking for Paige Vanette. Julie Christensen also fighting fast, but that ball is cleared away by Ava Keeley. Sam Carey with two defenders on her. That ball is handled by Asha Hainbrick. Excuse me, that was number 19, Grace Wright. Karen Pete now the ball, and here come the Jaguars up the middle. That is number 7, Katie Hilke. Lauren Shaw now with the ball, fighting past Grace Wright, looking for options with her pass. Shaw with a nice move there, getting past right, goes to Vanek. Vanek going for the right wing. It appears like she was looking for number 3, Madeline Wood there on the right, but Wood not ready for that pass, and that will be a throw-in for the Jaguars.
That was a good possession there, Emily, from the Knights. However, at the very end, the mental mistakes started to pile up there, and the pass went out of play. With 5 minutes remaining, we'll see if the Knights can try to stay composed in these closing minutes and try to make a more favorable scoreline as the game seems a little bit out of reach, but they can still make it a little bit better in terms of looking at the scoreboard. Here come the Jaguars down the left wing, beating Karen Pete, and now they can continue going. Nicole Grellner trying to win it for the Knights. She's unable to do so. They take it to the corner flag. Trying to waste some time here are the Jaguars, and that almost goes out of play. Grellner's able to keep it and tries to cut it outside. And that ball's cleared away in the end by junior Karen Pete for a Jaguars throw-in. Throw-in taking it quickly there from the Jags. And here come the Knights on the counter. Here comes Christensen at full speed. She tries to take it through the middle and trying to find number 7, Rutherford, but that is cleared away. Even in these closing minutes with the game maybe out of reach, you can still see the passion that Marco Wick puts into these players. Even though the game might not be there for the Knights tonight, they're still playing until the final whistle blows at full speed, no breaks. And here's Rutherford trying to find a couple options.
All the way across.
She had Christensen in the middle, but she plays it back to Sam Carey. Carey takes a touch and now plays it up the field looking for what looked to be Paige Vanek, and Paige Vanek chases it down, but it's cleared away from the defense. Sam Carey mistimes the header, it looks like, but here's Nicole Grellner. Grellner plays it to Abby Miller. Miller takes possession, looking for Sam Carey. She finds her. Carey plays it up the field for Paige Vanek, but that touch goes right off the right foot and out of play. 3 minutes now remaining, and a throw-in for the Zumwalt West Jaguars. Carey with it now. She's got a couple options in the middle, including Malin Wood with all sorts of room over on the right wing. Christensen cuts it back the other way, however, and she tries to take on 2. Plays it back to Katie Richardson. Richardson rolls it past the defenders and plays it back to Nicole Grellner. Grellner now out to Sam Carey, chases it down, keeps it in play. Well done there by the left back. Carey now back to Grellner with Karen Pete to her right. She gets the ball. Pete times the pass there, and here come the Jaguars, but Madeline was able to get back and cut out that pass and does a good job in recovering for the Knights. She plays it up the field looking for Christensen. Christensen does well to win the ball for the Knights. She plays it up the field for Paige Vanek. Here comes the Knights. 2-on-1 opportunity. They take advantage of it, but no, it's offside.
Oh, are you kidding?
Harsh there, but it's a good call from the assistant referee, and that'll be a free kick right around the 15-yard line with now under 2 minutes to play here in the second half.
Go.
Here come the Knights. Christensen sends it into the middle looking for Rutherford. That goes out of play for a corner kick. Sam Carey comes from the left back position to take it quickly. The Knights trying to get that second goal to try to cut this lead down to 4-2. 1 minute and 20 remaining. Carey gets set to take the free kick. Or corner, excuse me. Corner comes in. Day's able to punch it away out to Paige Vanek. Vanek lets it roll past her, and Carey is able to keep it in play. Under a minute now remaining, 55 seconds to be right on the dot, but that ball comes in to Day. Day's had a strong performance in goal, allowing just 1 goal, and all the opportunities from the Knights have been shut down besides the one from Christensen. Here come the Jaguars trying to get their 5th goal of the game. Their highest goal tally this season is this game with 4. They've had their strongest offensive output from their forwards, from their midfielders. It's been a really balanced play from this Jaguars team. It hasn't just been Lauren Crane, but it's been multiple others as well, including Grace Wright, among others. When they have this balance of an attack, they're almost unstoppable on offense. 10 seconds now remaining, and it looks like this game is coming to a close on this Tuesday afternoon. Gellner heads it. The run made there by number 3, Caitlin Nichols, but the time expires, and that is that for the first home game of the 2018 season. The Knights fall by a score of 4-1. Emily, what did you see?
I definitely saw some great things on both sides of the ball, and this game was really a game of possession. When the Jaguars were able to keep the ball in their possession, having numerous multi-minute possessions there in the first and second halves, they were able to deliver and able to score. The Knights also struggling, not staying diligent on certain passes, getting some unfortunate errors there at the wrong time for the Knights, resulting in the 4-1 gap. A strong play here from both teams. Certainly not the way the Knights wanted to start out their home season, but with plenty of time here left, they definitely have some time to improve, take some time to work on their game over their spring break, and come back to face this Jaguars team again later in the year. They will face the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars again on the 12th away.
Before then, they're going to try to figure out what went wrong tonight and try to shore up those holes. Last week, I talked to Mr. Oley about what their team is looking at for the rest of the season. They know that these games matter. They know that wins and losses matter, but they're looking at the big picture down the road. They're trying to figure out what's their best team, what's their best lineup, and how are they going to line up their best this season, who's going to play what role. And this might have been a tough loss for the team, but if you would ask Oleg, he would say it helped him find a better identity for his varsity girls team. Knights lose their first game this season by a score of 4-1 to the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars. They will head out to Troy on Thursday to take on the Trojans in their high-powered attack. This was Dominic Kosher here with Emily Hood, Maddie Chenault, Paige Westerman, and Lily Sonheimer. And thank you for tuning in to FHNtoday.com/live.